Auntie.
And we're coming at you on this marvelous, kind of rainy Friday with our first segment of the day, Let's Talk About It, where my queen and I talk about some stuff that's been going on this past week. So, TT, I would kind of like to start this off.
I'm nervous.
Okay, so brief introduction, everybody. I am a college student that for all intents and purposes, I think I won't say where I go to college, but I go to a local college here in Pittsburgh. And I'm just gonna give it to you blunt and straight like it is so that I can see your reaction. And I really wanna know what your guys' reaction to this is here too. So make sure you guys comment to this and everything so that we can hear your feedback and your reactions. So let me tell you. I get a text from my friend, or no, actually, I was scrolling down my Facebook. Okay, so I'm scrolling down my Facebook and one of my close friends from school, her name pops up and it was like a long paragraph. So something told me, normally I run away from like the long paragraphs because I just don't feel like reading them, but something told me like, okay, let me go ahead and read this one. Okay. How about she's on the elevator? Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, my school is a predominantly white college. She's on the elevator. This white girl is on the elevator with her and she's on the phone with her friend. My friend's getting off of the elevator and she says, and I quote, "I just hate the N-word. I don't want to say it." She called my friend an N-word.
Are you fucking? Okay, so I need to know what your friend's response to this was.
She literally is on the phone with her friend and said, I don't even want to say this. I don't even want to say the word, honestly. It makes my skin crawl. But she literally says, "I hate bleep." And my friend's reaction is she spins her head back around onto the elevator and says, "Excuse me, what did you just say?" And she says, "Honestly, I just feel like you should go back to Africa."
I need to know, I need to know the rest of the story. What, is she still enrolled in school? Because I probably would have been expelled.
There is no more to the story. My friend sucked it all in. She reserved herself and she walked off of the elevator, literally in tears, and went to her room and just lost it. Okay,
so first off,
I want to hear now. I want to hear how you feel about this. But first, this is my thing. When she told me this, and it's like I have never been called the N-word before.
I have.
Okay, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Well, I have personally never been called the N-word. I have experienced racism in many other forms, but I've never been called, nobody has ever had the balls to say, "Royce, you know what, you're a bleep." Okay, real quick. How about this? From now on, while we're doing the show, we're gonna say, while we're talking about this story, we're gonna say ninja. Okay, in place of the N-word. So
as to not offend.
Nobody has ever called me a ninja before.
Okay.
And I just don't know how I would react. And she was really one of my closest friends. And after hearing this, I started thinking to myself, Royce, what would you do if somebody called you the N-word? And I blatantly called you the N-word. And I really think she handled it the right way. Because in 2017, I feel like in a society that we live in, there's nothing that you can do. You can literally, you can drag them across the concrete, you know what I'm saying? You can beat them up,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's you can fight, you can do everything, but it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna make you any less ignorant. It's not gonna make you any less uneducated, and it's not gonna just make you any more. It's not gonna make them any less of a person than they already are. That is, I feel like in 2017 is a word that we really shouldn't even be using. And I'm actually going to be writing a blog about the N-word. within the next couple weeks. That's going to be my next blog on roycejones.com, ROICEJONES.com.
Oh, I see what
that is
there.
not a, that is a senseless, that is a selfless, no, that is a shameless self-promotion. So roycejones.com, make sure you look out for that. But I think that she handled it the right way.
Okay, so at the risk of turning this into a political debate, because it's not going to be.
Okay.
I feel like, okay, in that setting, yeah, she probably handled it the right way, except for the fact that she gave that person power because she cried about it. Like the
not
word
to her face.
Okay, well, that makes it a little bit different. However, I feel like so first, to put things into perspective, I've been called the N-word multiple times. You have to understand, I went to a predominantly white college as well,
exactly.
But I went to a college that was in the sticks.
Right.
So I was in. Now there was a lot of Black people there, right. But the area that we were in was a predominantly white neighborhood. Right. And then I also played, when I was in high school, I played volleyball for a predominantly white high school. So when we played neighboring cities, we played people that were out in the sticks and, closed-minded people. So I've been, like, maybe not Tayla directly, the N-word, like them singling me out, right. But it's been like a collective thing. Like they called our team a bunch of, like, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I've experienced those things. And, like, as far as like reacting at that age, when I was that age, you know what I mean? When I was in high school, I was hurt by it because that was the first time I had experienced such blind hatred and such ignorance, you know what I mean? So in high school, it hurt me. Now as an adult, I've experienced different things. I used to work out at Ross Park Mall. And to anybody that's not familiar with that area, there's some, entitled people, for lack of a better word. Mm-hmm. So I have never, they have never, at work,
they know what I'm going to do. They watched last week. They know what I'm going to do.
At work, they never physically called me the word, but it was their indirect behaviors that made me feel that way. So like in those settings, you know what I mean? I felt like, and like I said, at the age that I am now, it's like when I look at situations like that, that word only has power because we give it power. Exactly. If you allow it to affect you, then it's going to affect you. Right. If you look at it that way, like I said, the reason it has power is because we allow it to. Right. Now, you know what I mean? And I feel like, and people, always bash like Black people for using it. And I feel like now it's empowering. We use it differently now than they did then. So as far as like, not wanting to say it and stuff like that, this is my personal opinion. Yeah, okay. This is my personal opinion. Right. I feel like you're taking something back. You know what I mean? Like if you use it among, it's kind of like, I've been a heavier set female all my life. So I call out my flaws before somebody else does. Right. So if you're trying to rip on me, okay, I already know you're going to call me fat. Like I already know you're going to say I got big lips and I'm dark skinned. So for me, if I'm using the word myself, it gives it less power when you use it against me. Right. That's just how I feel personally. You know what I mean? So like in that situation, I feel I don't know what I would have done in that situation. It would have depended on how the sun rose that day, how I was feeling, what type of mood I was in, because you might have got backhanded in the elevator, or I might have just said, that's an ignorant statement. You know what I mean? Like, catch me outside. How about that? Like, I really don't know. Like, it might have just been like, catch me off campus type of thing. So I really don't know how I would have reacted in that situation. But I know what I would never do is give anybody the power over me. Like, if that's how you feel, then cool. But like, I probably like I said, at this day and age, I don't think that I would have reacted any differently than she did, aside from being hurt by it. Like I wouldn't be hurt by it. I would probably like want to go find her car and flatten her tires. But like, as far as like feeling any type of way, because like when you look at the political, like the society that we're in now, and the things that people say, the things that people are allowed to say, and you know what I mean? So like, you can't really be surprised that this is the frame and the state of mind that people have. And when they say things like this, it's like almost like, oh, okay, well, whatever. So, I mean, is it ridiculous that in 2017 we're still having these conversations? Absolutely. Is it surprising? No. Because look at the state of the society that we live in at this point right now. So, I mean, I feel like I said, I don't know how I would have reacted, but like I said, at this age, I honestly don't think I would have done anything differently than she did, except maybe trip her ass out the elevator.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a very strong opinion on it. And that's part of the reason that I do want to talk about this in my blog, is because I have a lot of detailed opinions about the N-word in general.
Yeah.
And in this particular situation, I think that it is absolutely ridiculous that in 2017, we're still using that word and we're still using the rhetoric that we use against Black people and, you know, to degrade us and make us feel inferior. Like, you know what? It's 2017. If there's absolutely nothing else that you can say, but if there's nothing else that you can say about me or call me, if we're in the game of let's call each other names, if there's nothing else that you can call me besides the N-word, just shut up.
Yeah.
Why do you why even go there? Because really all it does is just show how pathetic of a person that you are, that that's all you can dig out of your bag of insults against Black people. A. B, I just can't, she's on the phone, I just can't stand ninjas.
Yeah, which is crazy.
But why? And that's the thing that I would have,
but
honestly,
why?
I wouldn't have, this is the thing, this is how I would have handled the situation. I would not have physically reacted. If I was her, I would not have reacted physically, but I would have got on that elevator and I would have pressed every button on that elevator, and we would have stopped on every floor until she gave me an explanation to why do you hate? I want a legitimate reason. Why do you not like us?
You want to know what's so crazy? Is that kind of leads into one of the topics that I want to talk about. That's so crazy because like forming blind opinions, because really a lot of people don't have a reason why they hate. Well, what is the reason? What is the reason you don't like Black people? What is the what made you form that opinion?
Yeah.
Is it something that was fed to you?
Right.
Is that an opinion that your parents had, and now without any research or anything, you just followed them blindly because that's what they told you to do?
Right.
Or is this you had a real experience and you felt like, you know, this group of people, like you formed an opinion on a group of people based on an experience you had with one.
Right.
So it's like, you know, in this society, when you have social media and you have all these outlets where people can speak their opinions and stuff like that, but you're wondering, okay, so you have this opinion, but how did you form that? Did you read? Did you, you know, have life experiences that brought you to that? Multiple life experiences. Do you engage with those people? Do you have friendships with, you know, people, or do you?
Because they don't.
It's blind.
Because they don't.
It's
because people are only
hatred.
afraid, and people only don't like things. Well, no, people are only afraid of things that they don't understand or that they don't know. And the thing of it is that there is a huge difference between blissful ignorance and conscious ignorance.
Absolutely.
People don't want to, some people just simply don't want to accept other people.
Yeah.
They don't want to accept different people that aren't the same as them. And my thing is with it is, I know good people, you know what I'm saying? Not all, and that's another thing that I think is an issue in the age that we're living in recent times.
Yeah.
For, you know, just to put it quite simply, in recent times, I think that it's very hard to know, and I think that it's kind of an unsettling feeling for a lot of people from our community that they don't know who they can trust. They don't know, is this white person a cool white person, or is this white person secretly thinking that they can't stand Black people?
Right.
You know, so like, are they judging me? Do they really like me? Or, you know, are they really proud of me and my accomplishments, or am I being patronized right now?
And that's not even just that though. When you take into consideration how people form their opinions and what they have opinions about, that goes to religion. Like, you know, and I was like, I don't want to turn this into like a political debate, but like when you follow religion, is that a religion that you follow because those are your true beliefs, or did somebody feed you that information and you followed it blindly?
Exactly.
So like when you look at things like religion, sexuality, all these things, like I can always listen and take in opposing views, but you also have to understand, you know, where those views come from, and do you have information enough to make that opinion on whether that's something that you're rooted in, or is that something that, like I said, that was fed to you? Right. So it's like, you know, with this day and age, when you're being fed so much information and you don't eat, a lot of the time it's like I said, it's opinions.
Yeah.
So are you forming your opinion based on another opinion? Or are you forming your opinion based rooted in knowledge?
Exactly.
And
Get to know me. You know what? I would have offered this girl on the elevator an opportunity to come sit down with me. Let's go get coffee. Let's talk. Sit down with me and get to know me as a person, and then you can decide whether or not you like me. But I don't want to hear that, because honestly, it's bullshit.
Straight up. I 100% agree. I definitely agree.
And I have white family, like my mom is white. I come from, like, I'm mixed race. I know good white people. Not all white people are evil, bad, and out to get you. That's a common misconception for a lot of people in our community have, is all white people are bad. They are, you know, and like I said, it's hard to know. It's hard to know sometimes who's on your side, but you can't, I mean, even though I know it can be hard and rough at times, and you know, we see so much racism nowadays, and we see so much different forms of racism.
Yeah.
But racism isn't, first of all, racism is not how it used to be. Racism's not in your face and blatant all the time. It's repressed a lot of the time. You don't know how people are actually feeling. So I think that that's kind of an unsettling thing. I had talked to a lot of other Black people about this, and you know, I think that it's important to, I wouldn't, you know, me as a Black person, I wouldn't want anybody to turn, you know, their back on me. You know, I don't want to be generalized.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
absolutely.
stereotyped. So it's not okay for people from our community to, you know, stereotype white people or generalize white people. They're all racist, because they're not. I know good white people. I have good white friends, but it's experiences like this that can, you know, it really affect you, your mentality, and how you think about white people in a nutshell. So my thing about this is, from this, my advice to anybody that's that has been through something like this, or recently, or whenever, is don't let that bog you down, and don't let that shape your opinion on a group of people based on an experience that you had with one individual. Exactly, because we don't want people to do it to us, so we cannot do it to others. Absolutely. You have to stay strong and firm, and you can't let that change your opinion on an entire community of people. So I'm personally done with the topic. I have exercised and used all of my energy on this. Yeah. And I'm over it.
Yeah, we're done with it. We can wash that away.
But just know,
don't call
next
me.
Time,
don't come for me.
PSA. This is a PSA.
You want to
listen, guys?
Get closer to the mic.
Can we get a zoom in?
Can we get a zoom?
Can we zoom on? Listen. Attention.
Viewers, listeners. All around.
Okay. Listen to me very closely. I am not my ancestors. Okay. She is not her ancestors. In the event that you do happen to ever call, you know, a Black person the N-word ever in your life, we as a community are not the same. We're not the same. We are not the way we were back in the day. Okay, this is not, I'm gonna lay down and take this. These are new days, new ages. Okay, you changed.
They pop mollies now. I don't know how to help you.
Okay, so this is just a warning. Me, I'm not gonna react. It's water off a duck's back to me. And same thing for T. We don't carry ourselves like that. But not all Black people are different. Right. And you might pull the wild card on that one person one day, and you might catch the right one. So be careful who you call the N-word in the elevator. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Because that could be bad. Now, what you got going on?
So, you know, my social media is a reoccurring topic on this show. Yeah. I feel like it's just like here to stay, because there's always something. And I say this to my neighbor, like I text him all the time and I send him screenshots, and I'm just like, I can't make this shit up. Like literally, I want to have a segment that's called hashtag I can't make this shit up, because like. And I had posted a status earlier this week, and it kind of goes along with what we were talking about. And what I had said basically was, you know, I don't chime in on a lot of political things, and I don't chime in on a lot of things that have to do with race, religion, and sexuality, because, like I said, I can respect that people don't have the same views as me. So I don't often speak on them, because I'm not here to argue with you. My opinion's my opinion. If you don't like it, delete me. And that's just how I feel. So I posted a status earlier this week because I felt like I had to chime in on some things. And I was like, you know, basically, the gist of my status was that we need to change the rhetoric,
Yeah.
If you want change, change the rhetoric. And I had also said, one of the other statuses that I had posted is it's crazy to me that I have almost 4,000 people on my Facebook, and I can post a picture of me, you know what I mean, just a regular picture of me and get 100+ likes. Right. But I'll post a status that is meaningful or says something, you know, inspiring, or says something, you know, like I said, change the rhetoric. The status, I can read the quote for quote later on, but I think that status had 3 likes. You scroll to my picture from the day before, I think there was like 75 likes on it, and there's like 4,000 people on my page. So it leads me to believe, like, in this day and age, do you only listen to information that's given off by a celebrity or on a Twitter page or like stuff like that? Do people actually read? Do people want to be informed? Do people want to view other views? Or do you just want to just be stuck in the mindset that you have?
Well, not only that, but do you think that has anything to do with the society's perception on women and how they present themselves?
Okay, so we're going to my next topic already. You kind of just skipped there. Skipped there.
Because I'm interested to know that, because I personally believe that has a lot to do with, just from my opinion, my life experiences with other people of the male species, that they're not interested in what women have to say.
Not at all.
It's a lot, you know, I see that a lot of men are visual men. They don't want to really hear what you have to say. If you're a cool chick, okay, that's cool. Yeah. But they don't really want to hear you talk that much.
No.
They don't really want to hear what you have to say.
Or I'm talking and the glance is down here, right, or they're staring at my lips. So like,
but not only that, but I think that also has to do with you're a beautiful woman. I think that I feel like as if you're a beautiful woman and you post a lot of selfies, a lot of pictures, a lot of thirst traps. Okay. And I think that I think that that's how your followers, and that's how your the guys that are on your page and your friends and stuff, I think that's how they perceive you.
Absolutely.
And they perceive you as a sex symbol more so. And they perceive you more as a visual person. They look at you for pictures. They look at you for stuff like that. Right. They don't want to hear what you have to say. And I think that whenever you present yourself like that, as a beauty, as a, you know, like I said, a beauty, a radiant
beauty. Thanks.
You know, I think that kind of can set you back in a way almost, because it's like, if you're pretty, you're automatically supposed to just shut up and look cute, because that's what people want to see.
Right.
So do you think that sets you back?
Oh, I absolutely do. And like I said, that was you kind of skated into my next topic accidentally, because my next topic was I wanted to talk about how there's such a double standard about women being open about their sexuality or being considered overly sexual when we're just being who we are. Like, right, there's a double standard. If a man sleeps with multiple females, he's the man. But if a woman sleeps with multiple men, she's considered a hoe, which I think is ridiculous. Like, not saying I'm out here catching bodies, but I'm just saying, like, the double standard is so crazy to me. So like, if I post a selfie with, you know, my top, like, you know, my chest, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm perceived as promiscuous or whatever, but my chest is there. Like, right, so am I supposed to post pictures like from the neck up all the time because I have boobs? No. But like, if a dude posts,
real quick though, somebody from our social scoop segment that I'm going to be talking about has been posting a lot of neck up pictures.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. But no, seriously, like, so if a dude posts a picture in gray sweatpants and I can see the print, no problem. But I post a picture with, you know, my upper body, and it's it's an issue.
I did sugar and cream today. I don't normally do sugar and cream, and I did it today. It's actually really good.
I've been telling you that for years. I've been telling you that forever. So like, welcome to the light side, I guess you'd say, because that's, you drink the dark side. But
okay, continue. Sorry.
But no, so like, I feel like in 2017, I don't even feel like this is a conversation that we should be having. Like, and I was watching the 25 year, I think it was like the anniversary show for Def Jam. And they were talking about how Def Jam paved the way for women to be like, you know, being able to express themselves sexually on a national stand, you know, and doing stand-up comedy. And I was like, you know, that was so long ago, but people are still in awe whenever women are open about their sexuality, or whenever they're, you know, considered a freak or do things that men do all the time. And I feel like that's so crazy that for me to be a woman or just anybody, like, because I've talked to different people and they're like, you know, the way dudes look at them or the way dudes that come at them or the way they choose to dress, it shapes them and paints them in a certain type of way. But if a man does the exact same thing, they're not viewed in a bad way or in a bad light. So like a dude can be fine, but he can be smart. Yeah. A woman, it's like you can either be smart or you can be fine. It's like you can never be both.
Exactly.
So it's like, and I feel like in 2017, it's just crazy to me, like I said, that I can post a picture. And the picture that I posted the day before wasn't even of, you know, anything promiscuous. It was literally just a headshot. Like, I think I had over 50 likes on that. And then the status that I posted, I think the same day or a few hours later, had 3 likes. And I'm just like, really? There's 4,000 of y'all on here.
Right.
And you choose to like my pictures. Not that I don't like the likes. I like the likes. But I'm just saying, like, you know, in order to evolve as a society, I feel like we have to throw away some of these like old prehistoric views about everything, like about women, the double standard with women, about sexuality, about religion, about just racism in general. I feel like people are so closed-minded, and if you would just talk to different people or open up your mind and read, like stop doing this all the time. Actually pick up a book and read something, or find something to read. Do some intellectual soul searching, something, because in 2017, the things that I have, like the whole Let's Talk About It segment to me is just like been filled with like craziness about things, like people, their views, and closed-minded people.
And
like,
you know what, honestly, and this is whenever I really knew that like there was a like strong issue in society, is whenever I was at work one day and this little boy comes through the line with him and his family. It was a young, it was a white family. It was like him, his sister, his parents, maybe a couple other brothers and sisters or something.
Yeah.
And he says, now mind you, where her and I work is we have an almost like an 85% black staff.
Yeah.
We have a very colorful staff. And he comes up to the front and says, this kid's probably about like 4 or 5 years old, and says, Mom, why is there so many black people working here? And I just about fell over, and I didn't say anything because it's not my place.
Right.
And then I wanted to see how the parents were going to react to this. The parents say, well, whatever the kid's name is, son. Well, son, we live in the country, and when you come out to the city, you see that's where black people live. You see black people in the city. Not
son, you can't say things like
not
that.
Son, shame on you, apologize to these people. Not son, that's a horrible question to ask, how dare you. Not son, we live in a world with a ton of different types of people, not just black people.
Right.
There's people everywhere that don't look, sound, talk like, dress like us, okay? Like there are, the world is composed of different people. We're not the only people on this earth. Like, you know, that bothered me.
That should have been a teaching moment.
That should have been a coaching moment for you and your kid.
Teaching moment.
Yeah, that really, really bothered me. So that's whenever I think I really knew that like there's an issue here. There's some type of disconnect.
Yeah, seriously. It like I said, in 2000, like that should have definitely been a teaching moment. Those uncomfortable conversations are the conversations that need to happen. Because like it's kids like that are impressionable right now in that age and that aren't corrected then, that turn out to be like he who shall not be named, Professor Orangeface, that turn out like that. Because like,
can we just have a moment for that name? Because that's new. I don't think that I've ever heard that one. Okay.
So yeah, I just feel like I said, like I feel like we don't have to beat a dead horse. And I feel like, you know, we're always so light on here and we're always laughing and joking, but I feel like this is a conversation that needed to be had.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like, I just feel like I said, in 2017, there are some things that need to change, but in order for those things to change, like I said earlier in my status, you have to change the rhetoric. You have to change what you believe.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you have to stop listening to people and believing them blindly. Like, just because they say it on CNN doesn't necessarily make it truth. Or does it necessarily make it your truth?
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because they say it, that's their truth. This is, everything is based on perception, how you perceive things. So like, I might read one thing, like I might read one text message, show it to you, and you might read it in a completely different tone than what I said it. It's all based on perception. So the way that you perceive it might not be, like I said, it might be their truth, but it might not be your truth. So I feel like, I caution everybody to just stop believing things blindly. Stop just because it's presented to you, just taking that at face value. Do your research, read something, talk to somebody, talk to somebody that you wouldn't necessarily talk to. You know what I mean? It's okay to lift your head up when you're at the coffee shop and smile to somebody and start a conversation. You know what I mean?
Unless, I'm getting ready to change direction.
Okay,
Unless you're in a relationship with somebody and you then take that person that you met at the coffee shop home and sleep with them.
Okay, so now you're just going far, far left. So what's on your mind, boo-boo? What's going on?
I have a friend.
Okay.
Who is going through, well, it's not, okay, so it's not a friend, but it's a friend of a friend, somebody that I had known from like a distant.
Yeah.
That I have known that is going through some issues, and just found out that the person that they were with was cheating. Okay. And it made me think about that, and I had just one question.
Okay.
Why do people cheat? Is it that you want something new? Is it that you just want to try something different out? Are you bored? Are you, and why not break up? Why do that? I don't understand.
This could be a whole segment in and of itself. But do you want it from the female perspective or do you want the male perspective? Because I have opinions on both. I have vast opinions on both because I have brothers that ain't shit and I'm a female. So I've dealt with the opposing end.
Well, here's my philosophy. I
feel like ours are going to differ, but go ahead.
Without delving too deep into this, because again, this is going to be another blog on RoyceJones.com, and this is actually going to be coming up within like recent weeks, probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks, and it's going to be and I have already titled it because I've already started writing it, and it's going to be called. Hold on, let me dig this up.
Here he goes.
Let me go to my notes though, because this is seriously such a good title.
King Royce.
This is seriously going to be such a good. He's cheating on you. The signs, the warnings, and everything in between. I'm really delving into this, and I'm really going to talk to people, and I'm going to ask them, and they'll be unidentified, and like, why are you cheating, and like, what makes you want to do that? Personally, for me, from a male perspective, I think that cheating happens when I think that the males. Okay, I'm going to say it. I think that as males, I think that males cheat because now I don't fall into this. Okay, because I'm a goody two shoes. I'm
waiting for the ball to drop.
Because just a disclaimer, because I'm a really good guy and I am so good and I don't do stuff like that.
Continuing. ...
But I think that people do stuff like this because they simply get bored. I think that a guy will cheat on you with a red Solo cup just because
it's there. Okay, great. There we go. That was what I was waiting for. Because they can.
Yes.
We can end it at that.
Let's end it at
because they can.
Because they can.
Because it's there.
Because it's there. Simple.
That's why men cheat. In my personal opinion, and to anybody that says otherwise, because if it wasn't there, you wouldn't cheat.
Right.
Niggas are lazy. They're not gonna go out like searching for. I mean, most. If they have a good girl at home that legitimately does everything that they want to do, they're not going out and looking for a reason to cheat. Most of them. Most of the ones that I've come in contact with, and I've had conversations with multiple men. You know what I mean? Like I've been around men all my life.
I think that we need to come back next week with this.
We can as a whole segment. That can be a whole segment.
I think we're actually going to talk about this maybe, and let's talk about it or a brand new segment because this is getting ready. This is going to go into a direction where it's going to be too much.
Too much. Yep.
So let's take a quick break.
Yes.
Go ahead and take it because ciao.
Well, guys, you know, it's been a loaded segment with Let's Talk About It. We will be right back with our segment Social Scoop, where we'll talk about all your celebrities and all the stuff you want to know about them. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.